streaming. It's been a couple days. A lot going on, a lot of decisions to make. My Roomba is unloading. Because, it's a Roomba and it unloads itself into the bags. I got a bunch of ants to paint. Some giant ants. Not a monster I normally use, but definitely one I'm thinking of. Plus, I was, on the Reaper site and I saw them and I liked the price for the number and the sculpt. So the rest is history. I picked up some Reaper ants and I have to say, I really like them. Let me check this out, see what's going on. Copy. If you see the picture, you can see that Shadow has been saved. He is no longer a gay vampire. He is now a straight vampire who loves Hyperborea. And I'm glad. I'm glad I could help him out. You know, so yeah. Now, right now, I'm going to see my brother's thing and send him an attachment so that he knows. In further news, Lopan is not on the Epstein list. Just so everybody knows. Lopan is not on the Epstein list, and neither will you find. Um, Let me look at my brother's thing again because he posted one where I did. For some reason, this pad is acting up. Now there's like lists of who isn't on the Epstein list because it's easier. Oh, Maximus Decimus Meridius at no point appears on the Epstein list. So that's good. David Lopan and Maximus Meridius not on the list. I'll tell you what, Father Spiridon, he gave one of his kind of most bold sayings uh, I've ever seen for him. He just says that Christians should read the Talmud and understand that hey, what's up, James Lowry and Dana Roy, and understand what's in it. So Father Spiridon is usually a pretty kind of a great priest. He's not out here trying to be overly whatever, but he come out of the blue with that one, you know, warning all Christians to look into Talmudic teaching and what they really believe about us. I wonder if it's been influenced by the Epstein stuff, because I mean, Epstein uses the word goy like 9,000 times and he himself says some incredibly unflattering things about, you know, and see, this is what gets me in trouble. And I think this is definitely what got me in trouble with Bear. But I'm sure it's got me in trouble with a lot of people like Nerds Nerd and a lot of people who used to kind of hang out but slowly don't anymore. It is my blessing, perhaps, definitely my curse, to have overactive, maybe, pattern recognition. So keeping it to the Epstein thing, right? And being that I know what I know because of my childhood and upbringing, I can't help but notice that so many of the names on the list that were involved happen to belong to one particular incredibly small ethno-religious group. And I know a lot of people are like, I don't want to hear all this, blah, blah, blah. And the reason is, one, I can tell you, you know why people don't want to hear this kind of talk? They're afraid. They are afraid. Because if they took 2 seconds to actually think about it, they'd be like, wait a minute. Hold up. Wait a minute. What he's saying is actually true. It is an observable truth. Everyone sees it. But, you know, Europeans and Americans have been so programmed, basically, to be like immediately reviled at anyone who would question these things, that some people run. And then you look at people like Hagee and pretty much all of your Southern Baptists, and they have literally, they call themselves the Christian Zionists. They basically have replaced the reverence for Jesus Christ with reverence for some country in the Middle East. And you see these Protestants all the time, like Huckabee is one of the worst, but so is Tim Cruz. It seems to be mostly Republicans. And I think it's the ones from the South who have been corrupted by the Schofield Bible, which is the Bible that is generally used by the Southern Baptist Convocation or whatever to teach theology from to all their preachers and whatever. So it's like this Bible, which was written back just after the Civil War or so, and then adopted by the Baptists and whomever else maybe, was like a Trojan horse specifically designed to corrupt, to infiltrate ideas into the Christian faith that would corrupt it. I mean, I've got some other news for people too. Like, you always see people online talking about, or doing YouTube videos talking about the ancient Hebrew and stuff like that. By the time Christ was born, the Hebrew language was dead. It was a dead language. Some priests might have remembered some of the old prayers in Hebrew, maybe. But no, the common language that everyone basically spoke day to day was Greek or Aramaic, and then later Latin. Like the first Torah that was actually, like, not Torah, but Tanakh, that was ever written was written in Greek. You're not home. Where are you? You better not be at that gentleman's club. The King James Bible, okay. The thing you need to understand, Bo, is that the King James Bible is the translation. The Schofield Bible is the learning version of the King James Bible, which means it has a lot of stuff in the a lot of commentary. like written into the Bible. So like it might have a line that says something, and then next to it there'll be all this commentary, right? The commentary is where things get jacked up, and you can definitely tell people who are really hardcore into the King James Bible because a lot of times they are just straight up Christian Zionists. Yeah, Bo, you'll notice that Jesus never referred to the Father as Yahweh ever. And these idiots that run around calling Jesus Yeshua, no, Jesus' name is Jesus, which is Greek, because that's what his parents spoke. And, you know, so my Bible is a KJV original, and it's specifically designed for people who want to learn about orthodoxy. So it's got more books in it than your average KJV. But if you really, really want to dedicate your life to Bible study, you need to learn Keene Greek, and you need to read the original writings, which were in Greek, whether it's the Septuagint or whatever. They were all of the original texts were in Greek. The Dead Sea Scrolls are in Aramaic, but they use Greek letters. So it's very complicated. And, you know, I'm not trying to be a preacher to you guys first thing this morning. I was just pointing out, one, Father Spiridon coming down hard like that on the Talmud. Yes, I mean, all Orthodox people know the Talmud is an evil book. But it was a little bit of shock. And then my cursed pattern recognition, you know, and sometimes I have to go to other people and ask them to make sure I'm not just being crazy. Yeah, the Catholic Bible is basically similar to the Orthodox Bible, but you are missing, I think, 3 or 4 books. But I mean, Orthodoxy calls itself the Orthodox Catholic Church of the Apostles. Well, I think the guy who actually created Freedom Tunes also created that app. I'm not sure because I don't really fanboy over those kind of people. If I'm going to fanboy over somebody, it'll be like Angry Tabletop Nerd or Holy Diver or something, you know, Razor Fist. But he is like super hardcore a Roman Catholic. Nothing really wrong with that. And yeah, so I think that's like his thing, and you know, good for him. But you got your books, man. I wish you were home so you could join me and show them off, so that the world could see that even though I'm mean to you all the time, I do give you gifts and provide for your, you know, happiness as a brother should. I watched a Freedom Tunes the other day that was so funny. It was just like, I don't know if they were making fun of the whatever the name of the show is that has where like the guys invite these stupid ass hookers on and then they ask them questions, and sometimes Andrew Wilson tears them apart. But yeah, he did a cartoon of that, and like the girls say something really stupid, and the guys just start going off like they're just like, "That's stupid. That's so stupid. You stupid." And I mean, okay, I don't really watch that except for clips, and generally only clips where Andrew Wilson's tearing somebody a new ass. But that Freedom Tunes was dead on, like dead on. You know what I mean? It's like They invite a bunch of whores with like an 80 IQ onto the show and listen to them try to avoid accountability and explain why being a whore is a good idea. And it's just like, why? Why? You know, they had a girl on there on one of the clips I saw, Andrew Wilson was on. This girl had to have weighed 320. She wasn't quite Gorlock the Destroyer, but she was getting there, right? And they're like, so you know how they like to have all the women like rate themselves? This woman rated herself like a 6.8. And Andrew Wilson, who was like on the laptop, you know how sometimes they like put him in, just starts laughing. And they're like, Andrew, your mic's still on. He's like, my mic's on. Oh, I'm sorry. Turns the mic off. And that woman's just sitting there like, you know, with this look on her face. But it's like, look, woman, if you weigh 3 bills, you are not a 6.2. But you could be. And how you could be is you take your appearance, which is probably a 2, but you stack it up with your attitude. And if you've got a great attitude, then you can get up to a 5 or a 6. That's the thing modern heavy hotties don't understand. You know, when I was a young guy, the heavy chicks were always the coolest chicks. It was kind of like a survival instinct. You know, if they ever wanted to reproduce, they had to be super cool, right? But nowadays, you've got these really heavy chicks walking around like they're supermodels, and it's like, yeah, you're delusional. You guys all knew this already, though. I guarantee you I'm probably preaching to the choir, right? The best thing I've ever heard about the current dating thing for like young men, I thought this was actually pretty good. And it's basically that young men, which I do not consider myself part of that crew. I mean, I lucked out, I did my thing, you know, I got a good woman, but young men today have to work 10 times as hard for a wife that is not near 10 times as good as their grandma. And, you know, I don't know if that's true or scientific or anything like that, but if it is, then it's just a sad state of affairs. It's a really sad state of affairs. Now, I can tell you right now, my wife, I think she's way, way at least as cool as my grandma. She's a great cook. She handles stuff. Yeah, she's at least equal to my grandma, so I ain't got to worry about that. But I don't think it's for Gen Xers to worry about. I think it's the poor millennials and instant regret. Yeah, and Gorlock's a guy too, bro. If what you've seen, you couldn't tell. Gorlock's a guy. He's one of those dudes that likes to pretend to be a woman. And he likes to get on like shows like the What's Up or whatever it's called and like talk about how he can take other women's men and shit like that. And I'm just like, wow, that is some delusional shit right there. But okay. And now he's just like super popular in a way, but only as like a what would you call it? Like a warning, you know, like yeah, you hear people talk about Gorlock, and it's never, you know, boy, that Gorlock sure is like awesome. I'd like to hang out with that Gor. No, it's always like that chick looked like Gorlock, or you know, I would rather stick my wiener in a meat blender than Gorlock. You know, stuff like that. And like I said, it doesn't help that she's delusional. I called it a she even, but it doesn't help that the gentleman is delusional. That doesn't help the situation either. It's like you're like a really, really obese Mexican dude pretending to be a really, really obese Mexican woman, and then bragging about how you can take like all these actual women's husbands from them. And it's like, yeah, how's that work? How's that work? I don't understand how that could possibly work, but as you can see by the tag, Shadows decided to join me in selling trinkets and charms to protect people going into Appalachia from all the horrible things that may or may not be in the woods. He also got exorcismed and has accepted Hyperborea as the greatest D&D ever made. Now, he didn't agree to any of this, but see, I'm a doer, not a talker a lot of times. And so I made it happen because, that's what life is like. Sometimes you gotta grab life and make the reality you want. So, plus, I was getting tired of the constant Shadow is a gay dude thing because I know for a fact Shadow is not a gay dude, in fact. And if anybody's wondering where Shadow is, apparently he's tearing the whole damn bottom of his house out because of that leak he had in the foundation. And I can attest that that is a monumental pain in the ass. I mean, if I had my saw off of my fire engine, though, boy, I could cut that thing, just find the pipe and just cut a channel right through it, no problem. I might go through a blade or two, but I could have that shit exposed before you know it. But when I worked construction, we had to tear the pipes up in a house, but it wasn't the water pipes, it was the sewer lines. Because at some point between them laying the 4-inch sewer pipe and then pouring the pad, somebody had ran over the sewer line and put a big belly in it. That's what we call it, a belly. And so the house was constantly backing up, you know. Yeah, open wallet, pour everything out. See, I'm lucky, and my wife is lucky around here because I was a plumber for a while. So like when one of my sprinkler heads jacks up or the garbage disposal goes out or anything like that, I got it. You know what I mean? No worries. I take care of it. But that's just a lucky happenstance. There's very few things I can't do around the house. Like there are things I don't want to do around the house, but there's very few things I can't do. The thing I don't want to do is electrical work because I am afraid of electricity. I don't like the idea of working on something that's invisible and could kill me. Maybe that's just a weird thing, but yeah, like she need like our friend called and was like a tree fell on my car and I'm trapped and I don't know what to do. And I'm like, don't worry about it. Loaded the freaking chainsaw up, drove over to her house, the wife and I. 10 minutes later, car is cleared and the tree is in nice little chunks. Up in Kentucky, I would have said ready to be split and put underneath the tin so it could dry, but I doubt that's what happened down here. They probably let the city truck come and carry it all off away. But yeah, that's one thing you learn as a firefighter is how to use tons of like power tools. Squirrel Hermit, what's up, brother? You definitely learn power tools, because you got to run that saw, you got to run a chainsaw. Not only do you got to run them, but you got to keep them sharp and tightened up and all that. And then you got to run the jaws of life, the freaking airbags. I mean, so basically, being a firefighter, if you're not on a medical call, is really no different than being a construction worker. Because you've got on the fire engine, there's a whole bunch of bins that are just full of tools, and you use them to tear down, usually. What's up?
Yeah, not much. I did change my YouTube profile name, so you'll know it's me now.
You were left, right?
No, in this on YouTube, it defaulted to the Danny Roy.
Oh, okay.
I forgot to ever change that name.
Danny Roy, that is a very Scottish name, I have to say.
It's I didn't get it from any Scottish name, I can tell you that.
Yeah, but it just sounds like you should be a Highlander.
I guess what happened was I asked my teacher to sign something, and he signed it in cursive, and his cursive is so bad, it looked like it said Danny Roy, so I just started using that as a name.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's not a bad name. It's a great name, but it sounds like some Highlander name,
Yeah.
I'm Danny Roy. Blah, blah, blah. The House of Clams or something. The Clan Baiter or something.
Yeah. If anything, the other thing that was interesting, I just got one of my new games in from the mail. It's weird whenever you get a game that has a pretty small case, and yet the majority of the case is still pretty empty because the cartridge is like the size of a small SD card.
Oh, you're talking about video games.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the one thing I could give a shit about.
Fair enough.
No, you're still allowed to tell me about things that make you happy. I'm not trying to be like that much of a dick, but my wife bought me a Nintendo Entertainment System, and it's got all the games on it.
Yeah.
So there's no cartridge. And every now and then I'll play Excite Bike or I'll fuck around with like Final Fantasy 1 or 2 or
NES Mini.
Yeah, it's like the little one.
Those are pretty cool. I wish I did get one. Too bad they don't sell those anymore.
Yeah, I guess I lucked out.
Guess if I really wanted one, I think you could just 3D print out a case and use a Raspberry Pi.
Probably. But I'm not going to do that. I think I might be done with 3D printing.
Really?
Yeah.
Now.
You know what? I got tired of just dealing with the resin, the alcohol, all of it. It's like at first it was super cool because I could just print whatever I wanted. And then after a while, I was like,
I guess it loses its luster after a while.
Yeah, I was just like giving away stuff because I'd printed so much crap I was never going to use anyway, right?
Yes.
And then after a while, I was like, this shit makes a damn mess. No matter how hard you try not to, it does. At least for me, right? And basically, it was an evolution. I started thinking about, okay, how much am I spending on resin and stuff versus how much would I spend if I was just buying like Reaper Black miniatures or whatever, right?
Hey, Squirrel.
Hi, guys. And it turned out that I was spending like way more on resin and all the accoutrement that goes with 3D printing than I would be if I was just buying shit from Etsy or Reaper.
Fair enough.
Oh, Bo's got the honeydews. Do your honeydews, homie.
Bye, Bo. Bye, Bo. Love you, buddy.
Yeah, I'm by. Oh man.
Yeah. Speaking of older video games or whatnot, I actually downloaded a handful onto my cell phone. Final Fantasy 1, 2, 3, and 5.
Nice.
And well, what I recently discovered, the reason I did this is you can Bluetooth PlayStation 4 or 5 controller to your phone. So you can use that as a controller. Well, I have a Samsung TV and a Samsung television, so you can like put what you're seeing on the phone onto the TV screen. I have a little mini console. I love it.
Nice.
Yeah, that's an interesting way of going about it.
I am plotting and planning my possible exit from the state of Florida for a little while.
Ooh.
Well, God bless. Where are you going? What's up?
Eglin, Minnesota, possibly.
For
DaveCon.
oh, there you go.
I mean, nothing is guaranteed, but the wife said she's sure she can survive a weekend without me.
There you go. Come on, a guy deserves a weekend.
And she would drop me off at the airport. So all I'm going to have to do is, reserve my room, and he'll, make sure I can get from the airport to the hotel, and the con is in the hotel.
Oh, well, hello. Conventions can be fun. I've only been to one. And the only one, as you guys know, Gary Con, for years and years and years and years. This year, unfortunately, I can't make it. My son and I can't make it, and we're bummed because it's our annual father-son trip.
Right.
But we've always had a blast. We've met a lot of cool people, good times, gaming. Met some good long distance friends such as you and I and Leth and everyone on YouTube or whatever, but you get to sit down at the table and actually be there with people, and they can be a really, really good time.
Yeah. I'll go through the thing because you select the games you want to play, and I'll go through and just pick Hyperborea every time.
Yeah. We
be like Bo's going to be on Shadow Stream tonight. Fine, Bo.
Be that way.
Be on my stream and do your chores tonight when Shadow streams.
But yeah, no, the cons can be a really, really good time. I mean, yeah, the Gary Con runs kind of the same way. There's the gold badge, silver badge. I've only put up the money for the silver, which is like $100.
You can't buy a gold badge. I tried.
Yeah, the silver badge for Gary Con, and we've always got it. I never, but depending on the level of the badge that you get you a little more pickings on the games that you're available to play or able to play. First come, first serve.
Only exists to tease people.
Yeah, so we always got the silver badge, and as soon as we get it, we go online and figure out what games. And a lot of the games are like, you know what, we never played this. Oh, this sounds cool, and we just pick it and we do our schedule. We only did 2 or 3 games a day tops. Some Gary Cons we did 1 game. Badge wise,
if I play a game for like 2, 3, 4 hours in a day, and then maybe 1 in the evening, that's about me done for a day.
Yeah, that's what we did because it was anywhere from, some of them were 2 hours, most of them are 3-4 hour slots in a day. And, from day one, we says, we'll do this one in the morning, this one in the afternoon. We'll wander around the convention, go to the vendors, we'll get something to eat, we'll hang out, maybe go back to the hotel because we didn't stay on site. Super expensive and hard to stay on site at that particular convention.
Right.
We the hotel was 10-20 minutes away tops. We go back to the hotel and, nap, fart, poop, shower, whatever, and go back to the convention, or we just hang out there, hang out in the lounge, get something to eat. Sometimes you get a pickup game because once we got to meet people and know people that were there every year, regulars per se, we could walk in and get a pickup game. Or we could hang out in the lobby, the lounge, whatever you want to call it, and there'd be people gaming, or all right, do a pickup game for an hour or two. Great time.
At a tournament, when I used to go to lots of tournaments, can be somewhat of a gadfly in that I will wander around and just talk to people.
Yeah.
What you doing, retard? I'm talking to people about games. How are you doing, Uncle? I'm going to tell my mom you called me a retard. And then your big sister will yell at you for treating her favorite son that way.
Yeah, so there,
Dill. But anyway, I heard you're going to Kentucky soon. Good. He's such a... He is actually my blood on both sides. That's one of my uncles.
Genuine.
He's the one I might have mentioned, not by name, that his wife does like a Friday night, everyone come over and eat thing.
Yes.
And so everybody goes over and she feeds everybody. And then I get to hang out with my cousins and stuff. And
oh, God bless her.
Oh, yeah. They've been doing some really great stuff. Like one of them, I think, got a big boar. And I posted a picture of my other cousin on a thing, and he's on his horse with his cowboy hat on, looking all handsome and stuff.
Well, Kentucky.
You're heading up in April? Well, fine. Miss my birthday then. But anyway. Yeah, we're just talking. At first, I was talking about Father Spiridon, who is one of the priests I listen to, and pattern recognition on how I keep noticing the same types of names showing up in these files that keep getting jacked around with. And, that sort of thing. I mean, the last video I made, Facebook removed it. So I don't know. I don't even think I was being edgy or anything, but.
No, you were mentioning some things that might have not been to be spoken. Whatever.
Well, I mean, and that's the thing. Like, as much as I love my governor, he floated the idea of making it against the law to talk bad about, certain desert countries and stuff. And I'm all like, no. That's not how. It's not how America works.
Listen, I genuinely believe in the freedom of speech. If I'm not saying James, and again, I quote, I'm saying just for effect, James, I'm going to kill you. Or the president, that kind of thing. James, you're a dirty, filthy pig. You're white trash. I should be able to say that. And you should be able to say, Jason Snyder, Squirrel Hermit, you're a filthy pig that's a hillbilly in Ohio. You should be able to say that. So
you already said the worst insult ever. You're from Ohio. Who in the fuck are you talking to?
Listen, don't you discount the Buckeye.
Yeah, useless nut.
Don't you? Well, a lot of useless nuts were the president and went to space. So, anyways, and made a lot of great music. So, don't you know what I mean? Like, I didn't say, come on.
I get what you're saying. If it's not illegal, you should be able to say it.
And very, very, very few things should be illegal to say. Again, right. You want to threaten someone, okay. Even then, it's like, really? They were like
Yeah, you
they're
gotta,
they're,
you
they're
gotta look
harmless. They're
extra
harmless.
close.
It's like a I'm harmless. You might want to look into him a little bit, and then you see that he's just talking out his butthole, and he's just going to say whatever he says. You know.
I was trying to talk my wife into moving to Kentucky last month.
Well, get on home back up to Kentucky.
Yeah, didn't work. But where I am in Kentucky, I'm like an hour's drive from Bubba.
Oh, maybe she's considering that.
She don't know Bubba. But I'd be like right there in the middle of it all.
You'd be closer to the squirrel.
Yeah, I'd be close to you. I'd be close to. Yeah, see, Dell's harmless.
Yeah.
And under no circumstances has myself, Dell, or any member of my family ever accused any member of the Clinton family of anything ever. And none of us are suicidal.
We don't have to accuse the Clintons of nothing. They done it themselves. And no, I'm not suicidal either.
Yeah. It's like anytime you talk about the Clintons, you have to make sure everybody knows you're not suicidal. I have no plans on harming myself because
but if you're suicidal, you don't ever have plans unless you write something out beforehand, and then it's too late.
I think you're looking way too far into this. I'm just making a joke on the fact that like over 90 people who have had dealings with them have ended up dead.
I know, and I'm looking too far into it because I don't want to die like that either.
So I'm being all like, the Clintons are a fine, upstanding American family, and I've never said anything bad about them. And I'm also not suicidal. But yeah, the bros are supposed to come over tonight, and the wife has informed me that tonight we will be playing Hyperborea.
Nice.
Because I wasn't sure. Which is good though. They need to get moving along.
Yeah,
that's good.
My game's been canceled today.
Oh man, what was you supposed to play, Les?
It was the homebrew White Wolf game.
Oh well.
When I say homebrew, it's a fantasy setting. White Wolf, not vampire or any of that stuff.
Right.
That's what I was going to ask. What homebrew? What? Okay, cool. Well, bummer, but sounds like a cool homebrew setting.
Yeah, fantasy Russia, basically.
Nice.
I probably will need to make a new character. My character's kind of horribly screwed in that one.
No, play that character to the bitter end.
Well, I'm gonna play it out, but I've kind of pushed myself into a bad corner.
I was playing Vampire not long ago, and I happened to be in Moscow, and I recruited like this filthy whore, right? And she thought that I was basically buying her to be a whore. But what I ended up doing is training her over the course of a couple of years. And what's the Russian martial arts? Sabo?
Yeah, something like that.
And also in like blade fighting and stuff like that. And now she's in America and doesn't look like the dirty horse she had been. And sometimes I send her out to handle little odd jobs.
Yeah, light work.
And I'll tell you why I chose a whore in Moscow, because no one will know who she is in America.
Well, you know I mean,
so if she ever gets captured or killed, I mean, she's just Jane Doe with a weird tattoo on her stomach and whatever happens. Sambo. That was the first martial art. I spent like a year and a half in game teaching her to become a Sambo master. Um, and also, I gifted her a Gerber TAC 2 and a Glock 19. And the Glock 19 I gifted her is capable of full automatic fire.
Nice.
And she pretty much guards my lair during the day. And then at nights, when I need help with anything, she does investigation work and stuff. And she's trained up. So if some just random street thug tries to mess with her,
They're done.
yeah, they're done. She's going to cut them up.
Night night.
So, yeah, she tried to sleep with my character, and I had to explain to her that that was not a possibility.
Yeah, this ain't happening, babe. I know I'm hot and studly, etc., but no.
Like, yeah, I know I'm like this vampiric perfect thing, but guess what? The junk don't work. So,
It ain't happening. It ain't happening.
happening. I'm actually a dead body with just a spirit locked in it. So there was some getting used to there. But her being a whore, of course, she thought that was her, thing. That was her go-to move,
Her number one duty.
Yeah. Well, it was her go-to move because she thought that was the best way she would be able to survive. Because that's what she had been doing for like years.
Yeah. Yeah. And if you're in that kind of a
environment, right?
Supposedly her situation, yeah.
Yeah, if you're a whore who's homeless and living in an abandoned building near landfall or landfill, given, 8 J's for like a handful of rubles, that's, I guess, what you think life is. But I changed her. I like to leave things better than when I found them.
Try.
I agree, Lowenstadt. But
I got a cool new idea for a character, just in case my character dies.
A Russian whore?
No.
That's been trained to fight?
No, I was going to go with a thief. I'm basically going to be a thief. I picked up like alternate identity so I could pose as a servant. Sleight of hand. I picked up a lot of skills in lock picking and sneaking.
Someone say something about HJs?
That was James.
Yeah.
He's offering that for money if you're wanting to pay for it.
Just don't make eye contact.
James has got too many feats on his character sheet for me to get an HJ from him. He'll break it off.
It is true that the vampire character I currently play can pick up a manhole cover and tear it in half easier than you could have.
Yeah, I'm good.
Of course, that would be a breach of the masquerade if there were a bunch of people standing around watching me rip an iron thing apart. But yeah, max potence, max celerity at 8th gen. So you don't want this.
Damn, I heard something about HJs and I was having me a rough ass day and thought I found a little oasis in that desert, but I guess not.
It is a shame that some men dive thirst and other men drown. I mean, we could always go see what Holy Diver's last video was on his new My Pee-Pee is Dry.
Oh, God.
Channel. I watched his review of Dracula, and I saw the Dracula he was reviewing, and I liked it. And apparently so did he. So.
Which one was he reviewing? Because now I'm going to keep blabbing here for real quick. I watched Zadrock and I a while back. Netflix had a Dracula thing. It was like a 3 or 4 hour or so episode each. Man, that was a good one.
Yeah, you're talking about it starts out he's like in the old times, and then like the woman that he's talking to is reborn as like a detective. And
well, it started off with what was his name? Harker, whatever, the guy that was there
Bill
as a real estate agent. And it started off with him retelling like his meeting of Dracula.
I know
And
the
he
movie
was
you're talking about.
in
Yeah.
a nunnery. And the one nun, the one sister, she was I don't want to say interrogating, for lack of a better term, interrogating. She was actually a Van Helsing bloodline, and it was really neat.
Yeah, that one was okay. He was doing a review of Dracula Reborn or something like that. It's the one where like he becomes a vampire after Mina gets whatever, and then he goes on a rampage through the Ottoman army, starts killing them all, and it's kind of a new one.
Yeah.
And by
It could
kind
be
of a
fun.
new one, I mean it came out like 5 or 10 years ago, but
Yeah, it could be fun. I mean, a lot of
it
movies.
was fun. There was a scene where he because he could turn into like a cloud of bats, and there was a scene where you see all the bats, and they kind of form like an open hand, and then the hand slams down on the Ottoman army and just,
Oh, I think I did see that one. Yeah. Now that you're talking about turning into, yeah.
it was pretty good. I liked it. It had the one guy from freaking what's the one where the vampires are always fighting the werewolves? It had that guy in it.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I did see that one. No, that's a fun one. Listen, anybody at the movie, you either have fun or you get up and leave. You turn channel, you shut it off. It's a movie, it's a film, it's entertainment. Are you being entertained? Cool. Not an educational, it's not, like, come on.
Well, if you're me, you just watch the same couple of movies over and over again.
That's the way to do it.
Yeah, we do. You're right. We do. You're right. Cold iron oven. We do.
He's got a nickname when I talk about him to my brother. I call him Cold Iron Skillet.
Skillet.
Yeah.
All right. I'll take
Them's
that.
fighting words there, Cold Iron. Them's fighting words.
No, they're not, because I call my brother Home Skillet.
Oh man, that's old school familiarity. That's cool as shit.
Yeah, when I talk to my brother, I'm like, "What up, Home Skillet?" So when I call somebody Skillet, that's not an insult. That's down
I'll
home.
take that all day.
Yeah. Plus, for some reason, it rolls off the tongue better than Cold Iron Oven.
Yeah.
Cold Iron Skillet. Yeah,
Yep.
that just sounds a little bit homier.
I agree with that.
But I got a Reaper order coming in at some point, full of a bunch of cavemen, because I need cavemen.
Last caveman I had, I painted them like the Flintstones, and Wilma looked awfully butch.
That's
I did too. In our group, we just look at each other and we'll say, "Well, that's a fucking Betty," because we were playing Crips and things, and we were using the Flintstones cave people miniatures, and we could not kill Betty Rubble. She just kept critting everybody.
well,
And literally, we retreated.
the thing about Wilma and Betty, we'd all be with Betty, but we'd be thinking about Wilma. But we'd have no chance with Wilma because there's no way she's ever leaving Fred.
I never went that far with the Flintstones, man. I really didn't.
That is me quoting a conversation between Rimmer and Lister on the Red Dwarf.
I'm not familiar, so okay. I thought you were being sincere, and I'm like, James, dude, like,
No,
prayer requests, man. You got any? Like,
here's the thing. Lister is the last human being 3 million years in the future, and he's trapped on a giant mining ship called the Red Dwarf that's like miles long, right? And then on top of that, scroll drop. On top of that, the only person he has to talk to is a hologram of the one person on the ship that he hated before he got put into stasis. And they just have weird conversations about whether or not they think they could hook up with Wilma. They have other conversations too, but that was just one of the funniest ones because they're all like, because Lister's so sincere about it when he's talking about it, you know, he's like, yeah, we'd hook up with Betty, but we'd be thinking about Wilma though. You know,
That's that's an if you recall, that's an old Space Ghost Coast to Coast bumper joke. Like the female voice on the intro, Zorak was like, "Who is that?" And Space Ghost was like, "Oh, it's Betty Rubble." And it became this inside joke that she was doing voiceovers on the set of Space Ghost Coast to Coast.
There's Squirrel Hermit again. I used to love that show.
Oh, it was fantastic. They're all gone now,
I like
sadly.
that.
Yeah, Brack on drums. He's always calling Moltar and yelling at him.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Or
those
Ski
were
Lab
fun.
2021. I like that one too.
Oh my God.
That one was really
What a
good. You always had the one
fantastic
white
show.
girl that was trying to hook up with the brother, and he was just like always like blowing her off because she was such a tryhard, or as
Oh.
the ladies say, a pick me. You know.
Yeah.
And you had the guy from Chips, the animated. He was on there.
That show kept so many teenagers of that era from doing stupid shit or getting arrested. Because
Well,
literally,
because it's on so late. You would,
yeah,
like,
it was literally just
stay in
park
to
on the
watch
couch and watch that show.
Yeah, there was the whole lineup. It was like Space Ghost and whatever. And then after that, I think it was Toonami would come on.
Yeah,
Like random anime.
that was typically fall asleep time.
Yeah, but you know what? The first time I ever seen an episode of Cowboy Bebop was on Toonami.
Yep.
I
I love
still-
that show. I own every episode plus the movie. Cowboy Bebop is one of, in my opinion, all-time great animes.
That's
Yeah,
white
it is.
people anime.
Oh, come on. It's really good. You know it.
No, it is. But I went to a panel in Atlanta one time at a convention, and they were talking about Cowboy Bebop is the quintessential white person anime. Naruto is the quintessential black people anime, and Dragon Ball Z is for Hispanics.
What?
And then people started
Hey.
arguing that they were like Naruto. They were like, no way. It's what is it? It's Yu-Gi-Oh. They were trying to argue, and they're like, no, it's Naruto. Like they were, it was hilarious. But I sat there thinking about it, and I was like, holy shit, Cowboy Bebop is white people anime. It absolutely is.
I guess. I don't know. I just thought
never thought about
cartoons are cartoons per se.
I would say this. That might be true, but only like on the fringes.
Yeah.
Because like you put Goku on or Naruto or some shit, and it don't matter what skin color the teenage boy is, they're all watching that shit.
That or
whereas
Bleach.
Cowboy Bebop, I think, is for older, crusty guys like me that like westerns, and it's a western in space. So I mean, it's
Yeah,
like,
it is a Western
right up my
space
fucking alley
with
right
also
there.
space jazz with jazz music. So that was a little bit weird.
Yeah, I could kind of, sort of, maybe see it's more of a white person anime,
think white
maybe,
person,
but
I think
it wasn't. It definitely wasn't geared. I don't think it was geared towards like, hey, this is for whites. But I love it. Like I said, I own every episode and the movie, and I love it. That one really hit me when I was younger, when it first came out, and I enjoyed it.
Like I
Still
said,
do.
I don't think it's about skin color. I think it's about age. Young guys like
Yeah, I
all
think
the
more about
Yu-Gi-Oh and whatever. And then older guys like me, we like Cowboy Bebop and Berserk.
I like Cowboy Bebop, and I'm not. I mean, I'm sorry.
You're 30 something. You're old.
Old soul.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not really old, but you're not a kid, man. Once
You got an old soul,
flip the
maybe.
big 3-0,
I liked it
you're
as a
not
kid,
kid anymore.
though. I mean, I liked Cowboy Bebop when I was a kid. I used to watch it all the time as a kid.
I didn't know it existed until I was in my mid-20s, and I was sitting up late, like we already agreed, watching all of that whole run of.
I was a kid when
all that shit.
Toonami was out, so
And
you
then
know.
and then it came on, and I was just like, "What the fuck is this?"
I was a
Excuse my
kid.
language.
I was a kid when Toonami's came on, so that's when I first saw it.
Well, I'm 20 years older than you, left.
know.
That
Yeah,
doesn't
we
mean you're
we were a
young.
kid before that happened.
And just because I'm 20
That's
years
my
older
point.
than you doesn't make you young. It just makes you slightly less old than me.
I know.
So yeah. Yeah, Cowboy Bebop, because it has so much less chibi bullshit and all that.
That is fair. I
That's
like
more
it better
of the
for that.
adult show.
Please, Sweet Home is the best anime ever. Everybody knows that.
I don't
My
even
What's
know
that
what
one?
that is.
Cheese Sweet Home is about the kitty.
Still don't know what that is.
Nope.
Best
definitely.
No clue.
Best anime ever. You're missing out.
Trigun's my favorite ever.
And Faye Valentine was everybody's crush,
How could you not?
right?
Eh.
Even though you know that bitch is going to rob you blind,
Oh, rob me, baby. Rob me.
but you know, whatever.
Can't rob the willing.
I mean, any cartoon or movie where you end up in Tijuana in the middle of a gunfight with drug dealers and shit, that's a Western.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh God.
Bounty hunters, man. Come on. That's Western. Bounty hunters.
I kind of felt bad for the one show where what's his name? Not Jet. Spike goes
Yes.
back to meet that young guy that had been in his unit during the Mars Wars or the
Yes.
Jupiter Wars or whatever, Wars on Titan. And they gave him chemicals and he'd grown breasts and shit.
Yeah, he was the sax player, the jazz,
Yeah.
whatever.
And whatever drugs they'd given him had actually made him develop female breasts. So he was pretending.
Yeah.
And you know what? I never did like the girl that Spike loved. That bitch. Fuck her. I mean, she's not as bad as Jenny
Julia.
from Forrest Gump, but damn, close.
Yeah, Julia. Yeah.
I mean, pretty close. I mean, but anyway.
It was a good show.
So Hungar got his freaking bundle from Northwind Miniatures.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Nice. What all he get?
Well, the bundle just comes with the 2 updated books and the atlas of
Okay.
Hyperborea.
Oh,
So,
rock and roll.
He
Love it.
he was in a 5e game, which of course is dead now because we all know 5e games never last more than like 6 sessions anyway.
Yeah.
It's like the curse of 5e. Even like the 5e people talk about it, you know, like the game's just. I don't even know why.
Last.
I don't even know why.
Yeah, I'm gonna be picking that up soon, James. I have converted.
I think the
Well, I
DM
mean,
and
you
the
got the
players.
PDF, so you ain't got to worry about it. If you
Yeah, I don't actually have it. I just access it. But
what unscribed?
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta get physical.
Stuff off Ascribed. Is that a bad site? I mean,
Yeah, I'm always a carbon copy kind of guy. I like to have just the book in front of me, you know, and
Yeah. Same here. You gotta have the physical. You gotta have something to read on the
Yeah.
shitter. You know what I mean?
well,
So-
I am a completist, but I thought Scribed was a legit site. I mean,
it is. And I mean, the PDF has been like really, really cool. like reading it and everything. But
Yeah.
I
I'll
think
be
I'd
picking
like
the
to have both,
books up soon.
both a book and a PDF. The PDF will be better for me, so I can resize it if if the letters are too small.
I put the books on the table, the player's book, so that the players can access that. And then I have my PDFs on the computer because the search function and everything makes it so easy to.
That's also another thing, search function. But I do like having the resizing ability and the search feature. Those two things make the PDF
Right.
a good addition.
Because when I play the game, I always have at least one and a lot of times two laptops on the table because Hungar goes through dispatch on one, and the other one's where I've got all my notes and everything. Even though I walk around a lot when I'm running games, I tend to be one of those guys that kind of wonders about.
A pacer.
Yeah, yeah.
Now PDFs do have their place and their value for sure. I have a butt ton of them, a buttload, but for me, I want to huff a page. I want to smell the binding, the glue, the ink. I want to look at it, and I'm a little more of a tactile person.
Definitely more clerical when it comes to games. I want to actually turn the pages, bookmarks, and
Yes,
Nothing wrong with that.
I do. Actually, a lot of my books have tabs. They're
Hey, I
labeled with
mean,
like those sticky
I'm not
tabs with the.
arguing against you at all here, guys. I'm just. I mean,
No, you're
books.
not.
I just also use the PDF.
Yeah,
Also,
no, PDFs are awesome. They are very, very handy.
also easy to share PDFs.
But yeah.
Yeah, it's easier to share PDFs also.
You are correct, Les. You are correct. They are
the
way
thing
easier to
though,
share.
Les, is I play at a table with actual players,
Yes.
and they're not allowed to look at my computer screen.
Fair.
Therefore, yeah, they just don't get to look at my computer screen.
That's the
So
DM
if they want to
screen.
know what's in the books. The books are on the table. Or, in the case of Ungar, he has his own books. And, they can figure it out.
But hey, in between sessions, they'll be able to read it on the PDF if you give them a copy.
Maybe. I mean, I've never given PDFs away, but I figure you can put them in like copy them to like a flash drive, right?
Possibly, I think so. Yeah.
Because I do have a flash drive that's like well over a gig. It's a really nice one. My daughter bought for me. And every now and then I'll make it a point of going into my computer and saving all of the games on my computer onto the flash drive. And then I hang the flash drive on one of the handles here so that way, if I ever have a problem with the computer, it dies or something, I can get another computer and reinstall
the games. Yeah.
Well, I mean, yeah, my role-playing games and also my copies of the SSI games from GOG because I'm huge fans of them.
One good thing about that, I mean, even if the something happens to the SSD, you could always or the flash drive, you could always just go online and download them again off of GOG.
Yeah. I keep Pool of Radiance on my computer.
I don't blame you. I kind of wish I could play it. I don't know.
My freaking issue is I kind of wish they would remake it.
Yeah, just make a remake or remaster with a little bit more modern stuff. I'd play the crap out of it.
Yeah, it is such a great game, but playing it on computer, like the movement keys are weird and
Yeah, one thing is, I wonder why. Well, I guess it's not the most popular game, I guess. But I was wondering why nobody ever did just remake the game.
Someone did in
And I know in Neverwinter Nights.
Neverwinter Nights, someone remade that whole game. Yeah. They also made Keep on the Borderland. I'll tell you what, when Neverwinter Nights was like really popular, there were guys that were there were guys that were making damn near persistent worlds.
I just wish somebody went and gave Pool of Radiance the Daggerfall Unity treatment.
Right. I played on this one server, and I mean, it would shut down every now and then, obviously, but most of the time it was open, and there were like a ton of other people playing, and it was just people running around. And I had looked at the adventure builder, so what this guy had done is he'd basically out in the wilderness and whatever, he had put spawn points, and he'd drawn out like pathing and all this sort of thing. So on a timer, so you could be in like a village, maps away from where you start, and all of a sudden, like, a bunch of goblins might show up, and you could either run or duke it out. It was a really cool thing, but eventually, as with all things, the popularity of that game started to decline, and then people just stopped showing up. But it's a good game, and the actual game itself was good too. Like the actual adventure, not the I ended up.
I went through the Pool of Radiance for the most part.
I ended up recruiting the Tiefling thief that hid that she was a Tiefling, but then I eventually found out, because this is AD&D Tieflings where you had to roll randomly for
infernal features.
Yeah, and also they could never be good. Like, no matter what alignment they wanted to be, it had to be neutral or evil. And even if they chose neutral, they would have an innate bias towards evil. But she was a good thief, though. So there you go.
Fair enough.
And I, of course, was playing the most OP class in any game. A human fighter.
Human fighter.
Right. Do you remember when the first Baldur's Gate came out and the people who made it were so pissed off because they did like a thing to see who was playing what? And 90% of the players of the game were playing human fighters.
Nope, I don't remember that. I didn't really play Baldur's Gate.
That was a whole thing.
Man.
And like the Wizards of the Coast people were pissed because they had added like all of those stupid, races and classes and whatever in. And you could play like, a person with chest scars for some reason or whatever. So they were hoping they were going to get a lot of, I don't know, degenerates or whatever to play the game. And then when they they looked at the actual numbers, it was like almost everyone playing the game was just playing a stock male human fighter. They were pissed. They even put out like a request asking people to make something other than a fighter, and no one did. It's like, hey, weird purple haired chick that works at the studio. Fuck you. We want to play human fighters.
You know what's funny? The 5th edition actually put out so I think people found out that, or made a survey asking what everybody was playing, and most everybody was playing human fighter.
Yeah, that's the same thing.
Yeah,
it happened in 5e, and then when they were coming out with Baldur's Gate, it happened again, and they were like not pleased.
And I don't remember everybody getting upset. They're just like, oh, okay then. It's like,
no,
okay,
the
fair enough.
developers were not pleased
I
because
know,
they
but I'm
had
talking about like
expected.
I was talking about the 5th edition. I don't remember there being like that much of a hullabaloo about it. Everybody's just like, oh, okay, well, there's that, I guess.
Yeah, it was basically the developers of the computer game were expecting a bunch of Zimzer whatever type characters, like, you know, and ended up with a bunch of, you know, Brian the Relentless and shit like that. And then that meant that they were forced to contend with the fact,
Or Lance Stormshield.
right, they were forced to contend with the fact that the game they designed for alternative audiences had attracted no alternative audiences. It was just a bunch of dudes playing white dudes running around beating shit up with swords, you know. And I think they learned their lesson after that one. They're just like, F it, you know. But that's the thing with a lot of these. I don't know if you guys have been following like Asmongold's stuff, but
Sometimes I did see one video about you know, the whole hockey thing and that meme. They made like an anime thing about that whole meme with the eagle on top of the goose.
right. The thing I'm talking about is the fact that all these AAA studios are going bankrupt.
Yeah,
And
they are.
the people who work on these games are actually quitting the job and just being like, nah, I'm done. You know, and it's because they've released like all these games recently and they've all sucked.
They have, yeah.
And the people who are making the games don't seem to understand exactly why the game sucks, because apparently they're not bright enough to figure it out. So like all these games they had been working on that were supposed to be like these great new you know, games for like Seattle people, they've all like instantly died as soon as they came out. And I don't expect the hardcore idiots that are running shit to figure it out anytime soon, but they're figuring out in their pocketbook. What was the last one coming out? I think it started with an O, the name of it. That was a while ago. Omen or something like that. And it freaking died dead on release. And
A lot of games are coming out like that now.
Yeah, because, you know, there's so many independent shops now making games
They're just better.
actually appeal to the gamers.
Yeah.
So it's become just a simple issue of, if you're a gamer with $30 to spend, why would you play a game where it feels like they actively hate you, as opposed to some silly little game you get for like $10 from an independent guy, and the game feels fun because it's not trying to, you know, educate you on things. So that's been a big thing. The gaming industry is basically dying. Well, okay, I lie. The, you know,
AAA.
head up their own ass AAA studios are dying.
Yeah.
But the three guys in a closet making a game, they're doing fine. You know what I mean? I mean, and I play one of those games. And one of the games they mentioned by name is Power World.
Yeah, Power World's a good one. I like it.
Yeah, because he said it was created by basically nobody.
Yep.
And the whole point of it is to run around and train monsters and give them guns.
It's Pokemon with guns.
And so that makes everything cool.
It is just Pokemon with guns in an open world, and it's awesome. And it's what Pokemon should have done, except maybe minus the guns, because they still want to be a little bit more kid friendly.
Right. Well, I've been playing a game, feudal whatever, and it's still being worked on by one guy.
Yeah.
And in that game, you basically get a chunk of a kingdom, and you can recruit soldiers and build fortifications and make your peasants dig stuff up. And
Oh, there's a
And-
night game that's coming out that I want to get. It's kind of like a better version of what it's what I think will be better than the current Kingdom Come Deliverance 2.
well, they did put out a game that was basically Kingdom Come Deliverance.
Hi, Jim. When you want to fuck?
That's what I'm talking about. There was one, I just can't remember what it was called. They got like people got really upset because the female love interest was actually a hot woman,
He's pregnant. Doesn't mean there aren't.
Yeah.
and they got mad about that. And I'm like, yeah,
Not like
Why?
a bunch of women in the same house where you end up in a thing.
Well,
Yeah.
these three pretty much do. They're cute.
I can't tell who Squirrel's talking to.
I don't know either.
Yeah, they come out with a Kingdom Come type game, but the lead character was a woman, and she looked like a really butch lesbian, and like there was a lot of that type of stuff in it. That game released and instantly died.
I
And
wonder
of course,
why.
the people who designed it went online and blamed misogyny and blah blah blah. But like Asmongold said, if you want dudes to play your game, put hot chicks in them.
Yeah.
I mean, why would I spend money to look at a judgmental, troll with resting bitch face trying to tell me about whatever, It's like, I don't need that.
was it, right?
That's
This path was-
Get that in real life. Just go to a store or something and find some woman with resting bitch face to stare at you like she hates you. So
Yeah, the game I was thinking of was called Knight's Path.
right.
That one looks good.
Yeah, it's like it's funny because the studio that made the game I'm talking about. They probably made it and they're like, we're going to show those bigots over at Kingdom Come how to do it. And then like the game released, and 10 hours after the release of the game, there was like 100 concurrent players. And it was like, yeah. I mean, there's games that came out 10 years ago with more concurrent players.
Yeah.
They're like, no, because they need to understand, no young man wants to spend hours of his life looking at an ugly woman. That's just never going to be a thing. But
All right, I'm back, guys. Sorry, I had to do stuff with Zadrock, get laundry and whatnot.
yeah, until the studios realize who their market actually is, they're going to keep being idiots. And
Did I hear
and
Kingdom
I'm gonna
Come,
keep
like
laughing.
Kingdom Come Deliverance? That game?
No, there was another studio that tried to make a game like that, but the lead character was like this really ugly, butch-looking woman,
Yeah, no, never mind.
and it released and immediately flopped. Complete
KDC, my son, we got that game when it first came out, and I really don't do a lot of video games. I used to a bunch, and I kind of followed them here and there with different producers, developers. And my son started getting into video games, and Kingdom Come Deliverance, that was on the radar from years ago when it was first in development, and I got it for him. I'm like, dude, I think this game's going to be awesome. And we got the early release, and it was kind of very hiccupy, but we stuck through it, and it's one of his all-time favorites. He's got number 2, and I've played a little bit of it. I've watched him play it quite a bit, and if you play video games and you want medieval and a first-person perspective, play that frickin' game. It's
First one. I wouldn't play the second one.
Yeah, the first one is awesome. They're both.
I've been playing a lot of Valgard.
Okay.
No, Vineheim.
Vinhelm.
Valheim.
Valheim. Yeah, you
Valheim.
start out as a dead Viking, and then you run around and you gather resources and make weapons and fight the undead and explore caves and crypts and get kicked halfway across the world by trolls. And, you know, if you can get enough stuff, you can eventually make a long ship, which is cool.
Neat.
Start
Yeah,
selling.
them resource games can be fun.
Well, when you got your it's a gather game, but it's also like occasionally the monsters will decide they want you dead, and they'll try to swarm your house. And the monsters in this game are very strong compared to you. It's like not a joke. I mean, even the weaker monsters, if you mess around, they'll kill you. I mean, for sure, right?
Yeah.
And the stronger monsters will definitely kill you. So, like trolls and things like that. And so I spent most of the time I've played the game so far just trying to build a castle or a keep that the monsters can't just bust a hole in the wall and come in and murder me. I figured it out though. The monsters can't really dig very well. So if you use your pickaxe and shovel and all that, and you like dig a shit ton of dirt up and then pile it all up and basically make an artificial hill, you know, not a big one, but you know, and you go around and you shave the sides off so that they're not sloped enough for something to walk up, then you can climb to the top of it and build your house. And when the monsters come, you can just sit in the house and they'll shoot arrows at it, but they can't actually, you know, get in. So it's like, haha, bitch.
Well, could you also make your base inside the ground then?
Yeah, but the problem with making your base inside the ground is the roof. Because dirt will not, it's not like Minecraft where you can just stack dirt all over the place. You know,
yeah, I'm guessing you still have to make some kind of support structure.
Yeah, you got to make a support structure and try to pile the dirt into it. And certain monsters like trolls, which are not like D&D trolls, but are like Scandinavian trolls, so giants.
Yeah.
If one of them stomps over your underground lair, it'll collapse the freaking roof right in, you know? Like I've seen them, some trolls will actually grab rocks. So even though they can't reach your house, they'll sling boulders at it and just knock holes right through your walls and shit. I mean, which is still better than getting slaughtered because, okay, when the troll gets tired and wanders off, you can always come back out and rebuild, you know?
Yeah.
As opposed to, you know, like one of the troll attacks. First off, the boulders, which are very, very strong. Secondly, some of them carry like a whole damn tree for a club. And that's very strong. But when they're very mad at you, they just soccer kick your ass and you will fly through the air for like minutes. And then you'll hit the ground and be dead. Because, you know. And how you raise
just like
skills
Skyrim.
by doing things, huh?
Yeah, it's just like Skyrim.
Yeah, you do stuff, your skills go up, but every time you die, you lose 10%.
Yeah.
Of whatever your skills are. So if you get killed a lot, then your skills will drop by 10% each skill.
Yeah, you're kind of like negative levels, kind of.
Right. And there's a lot of skills. You know, there's like all the different weapons, and there's like 50 weapons. And then, you know, the blacksmithing and the freaking tree chopping, and, you know, there's a shit ton of skills.
Yep.
And when you die, you get worse at things, and that sucks. But it's pretty fun too. I mean, you can make magic items if you get the right equipment. You can make food that increases your health and your stamina. You can basically do anything you want,
Yeah. No, those games can be fun. They can be real fun.
What's up, Ian Bloodworth? How you doing, bro?
Hey,
Yeah.
Bloodworth.
Hey, Bloodworth. I hope you're ready for this Thursday.
Yeah, he's already setting up, staring at the clock every night.
Yes.
Mm.
Chomping at the bit.
Just like, but
I can't wait for
so for a computer game, it's a pretty good computer game,
Yeah.
And it's an independent studio. Like 3 guys made it, and they're constantly adding stuff to it. Like recently, they added bears to the world, and you can use bear meat and bear hides and stuff like that.
Sorry, Bloodworth. I can't join yours just because of what happened the last time. Sadly, I'm sorry.
What is tonight's game?
It's his old dwarf game. I thought I'd have enough time, but time zones I didn't think about, and yeah.
Oh, tonight you got your Brazilian game.
I would have normally, I guess, but
Okay, I don't know what you're doing then. Yeah, you guys kept talking about Deadlands to the point that I actually busted out my classic books and started giving them a read over again. Just I'm not going to run it, but just to be like, Paul is a huge Deadlands fan. And in addition to that, he's also a huge Shadowrun fan and L5R fan. So whenever I have Paul on the channel with me, it's really cool because he likes a lot of the games that a lot of gamers don't even know existed,
Yeah.
Or if they do know they existed, they never played them, whatever, And it's like, yeah, L5, Legend of 5 Rings, Deadlands, and Shadowrun. I, of course, prefer 2nd edition Shadowrun. Were some of the best times gaming I ever had in my life.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Especially L5R. Oh, my God. It's like feudal Japan, except it's got ninjas with flaming katanas and undead and
I remember you talking about that.
Naga and whatever like that. And
Cool.
and you play a character mostly, unless you're a Shugenja or one of the really like clan-based characters, you're playing a Bushi, which is a warrior, right? But you're playing a game where you're a warrior, but you can get one-shotted and killed.
Yeah, lethality, sir.
Oh, yeah. L5R, the lethality is for sure, right? So you got to be like, when you're wandering around, nice. I think you'll like it, especially if you like history, Richard. But in L5R, when you start just effing around with people, you kind of got to really think about what you're doing, because let's say you're playing some badass Unicorn clan, Mantis clan, whatever clan got, and you see some pansy looking dude in light blue robes with white hair, and you start talking some shit, and he starts talking some shit, and it ends up being a challenge to an Ajitsu duel, right? You're going to be rolling a new character 99% of the time, because that guy in the pale blue with the white hair is probably a Kakita swordmaster, and all they do is duel.
Yeah.
So you might be the baddest ass dude at charging into enemy lines and wrecking shit with your Yari and Tetsubo or whatever, until this dainty woman-looking man just, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And every clan has a thing. And the thing every clan has is incredibly good, but can also put you in bad spots too. Like the Scorpion clan, everyone hates them. That's kind of their thing. I mean, you treat them politely, obviously, because this is a fantasy Japanese game. So,
Yeah.
you know, politeness is paramount. But the Scorpions, they're the ones that do the poisoning. They run the whorehouses. They work in the whorehouses. You know, they train a lot of the geisha, who are also assassins. And even though the emperor, by imperial decree, has let the empire know that ninja do not exist, shinobi is a career a Scorpion can take.
Okay.
Which is just a fancy word of saying ninja.
Yeah.
And then you've got your stupid Crab Clan guys that are really big and muscular, and they hold the wall against the Shadowlands, and they don't worry so much about personal honor and customs. Like a lot of Crab Clan samurais do not know tea ceremony very well, if at all. They don't bathe as often as they should because they spend all of their time on the wall.
Yeah, they got other bigger things per se to worry about.
But that puts them at a disadvantage if one of them shows up at Winter Court, which is a part of the game that's all politics. And now all of a sudden you've embarrassed yourself and your clan because you showed up filthy and stinking. And so you see there's a lot going on in the game.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just about the combat. It's about the honor, the glory, the being sent to take out bandits or worse.
Yeah, it's got other societal layers.
Well, yeah, there's like 3 secret societies operating within the empire. And one of them is all about following the decrees of the dark god Fu Ling, who when the leaders of each clan fell from the heavens and become the first kami and took wives from the people of the earth and started the different clans, right? Fu Ling fell far away, and he fell so hard that he ripped a hole through reality and went straight to Jingoku, which is the Japanese hell. And because he ripped a hole to it, the land all around that hole become the Shadowlands. And it's full of Oni and undead and all kinds of stuff you don't want to deal with. Well, later on, there's a group of samurai that decide to take Fu Ling as their kami.
Oh, jeez.
And they call themselves the Spider Clan. And which adds like a weirdness because a lot of them are undead. And they serve basically this evil god that feels like he should be the emperor and all this other thing, right? But they still obey like a lot of the rules of courtesy and honor and stuff like that.
Yeah, they follow. Yeah, the more. Yeah.
So yeah, they're undead, but they're still samurai, and they still follow the rules of Bushido. And yeah, so it's like that. That's L5R. It's like, and there's really like I know what Leth would probably want to play right off the bat.
Oh, what's that?
An Ichizumi.
What's that?
Ichizumi are a special career that you can only take if you're a member of the Dragon Clan. And what happens with the Ichizumi, which are monks, is they get tattoos and the tattoos have some of the blood of the dragon in the tattoos. And so depending on which tattoos you take, you gain special abilities. So like if you take the tattoo of, I forget what it is, I think Sparrow, then when you activate it, your character can run across the tops of bamboo. Like it was solid ground. You can just leap from one bamboo stem to the next.
So basically, you're thinking I'd want to go Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon on this.
Well,
game,
if you take other things, you can make yourself really strong, or breathe fire at people, or you know, I mean, there's multiple tattoos, and I think most characters start with 2 or 3. But they are, yeah, the Ichizumi, the tattooed men.
Nope, I want to be a cavalryman, so I want to be
Unicorn Clan.
Unicorn Clan. I'll be in
Which will make
Takeda.
you Gaijin, because the Unicorn Clan are not Rokuganese. They're basically like Mongols.
I'll base my character up of Takeda.
And then the Lion Clan has the largest army, but they're also like the most stolid and conservative of the bunch. So, you know, if you fight a war with Lion Clan, you kind of always know what they're going to do. Because, and then, and then you've got the Phoenix Clan, which likes magic way too much. And a lot of them, too many of them in the history of the world have become corrupt and shadow influenced and become assholes. And what else? The Mantis Clan, they're basically Koreans that like to sell around and trade spice and stuff.
I need you to taste this.
Nope, never mind. I want to be part of the Mantis.
And they are known for being really, really good with bows.
How's the
I
blood?
want to be a merchant now.
That's good.
Good? Okay. Put it up.
Yeah, the Mantis Clan has a sub clan, and they used to be the Wasp Clan, and then they got integrated into the Mantis Clan, and their whole thing is the arrow knows the way. And so they're like Zen Archer type bullshit. You know what I mean?
James, if you ever DM a L5R game, prepare for it to become the spreadsheet simulator.
L5R is like one of the most simple games ever.
We're going to be talking about trade routes and everything else.
Oh, well, that, again, simple. I've got a map. You can travel up and down the coast. There's even a fantastical, like, India you could find.
Neat.
If you go far enough. And with all the, you know, Naga and everything like that down there, too. So, and the other thing is that every clan has 3 careers. So, like, you know how I was talking about the guy in the pale blue with the white hair?
Yeah.
That's probably a duelist. He's going to be Kikita clan. But you might run into a Daidoji clan guy who's also Crab clan. Will be wearing the same stuff, except the Daidoji are called the Iron Crane because they practice nothing but straight up combat. So they're the ones that are actually going to be charging across the field trying to stab you with a Yari, right? And then you've got the Doji clan, and they're like the courtiers. You know, they're like masters of tea ceremony and all that sort of thing. And the Crane clan is very powerful because every one of the Hantai emperors since the beginning of time has married a Crane clan woman. So the saying in Rokugan is every emperor has a crane for a mother. And then, of course, the Akado, which is Lion Clan, they're the right hand of the emperor. So you've got the Akado, who are tacticians. So they're mostly generals. They lead troops. The Matsu, who are like berserkers and just straight up want to run up and whack you with a freaking katana or something. and then the Akoma, who are poets. But the rest of the clan loves them because, I mean, one of the ways your character can increase their honor and glory is by having other people tell stories about it. You see what I mean? And
Yeah.
your honor and glory rank are what defines how high up in your school's training you can go.
Yeah.
'Cause
Who wants to
ahead.
train a turd? You know, someone talks turd about you, even though you're real good. Who wants to have an unruly child in class per se?
Right. And the clan masters are only going to teach you their most secret, Aijutsu or Kaijutsu or whatever ways if you've earned it. You've brought a lot of glory to the clan, right? And the best way, like I said, for honor and glory would be somebody in the group's an Akoma bard and they see you kick some Oni's ass and then they compose a haiku about it. And now all of a sudden the people in that area might have heard the haiku. And now you go from being some schlub of a, starting samurai to like a respected samurai amongst, that area. And that's another huge part of the game is, seeking honor and glory and respect. And you don't got to worry about food because every samurai gets, if you're single, you get 1 koku of rice every year. And a koku of rice is enough rice to feed a man for 1 year.
Yeah.
And all the money and everything in the game is based on the koku.
Yeah, it's not a
Just
heavy
like feudal
resource.
Japan.
What's that?
Just like feudal Japan. That's
it's almost like the guy who made this game studied feudal Japan and then decided to throw Oni and goblins and various witches. And
probably
shit
what
into it.
happened.
It probably did. I
I'm
mean,
being
yeah,
sarcastic left. Yes, that's what happened.
it's not a resource heavy game. You're focused on other things, which is cool. I like those kind of games.
Well, if your honor is high, you could be invited by one of the magistrates, which are people loyal directly to the emperor more than their own clan. And depending on which magistrate you are, whether you're a jade, emerald, whatever magistrate, then you travel all over the empire seeking out problems to solve for. So, like, I think jade magistrates seek out Oni. So if you hear a story of a village that's haunted by a what's the Japanese version of a vampire?
I do not remember. No, actually,
Yeah.
A Boko something.
Shugu? Okay.
Yeah, you or a Spider Woman. Your group, huh?
Jurogumo. That's the spider lady.
Your set of characters may be sent to that village to try to figure out what's up and deal with it.
Yeah. You gotta rough now. It's even more modern. A Japanese Witcher kind of thing. Go find the.
Except this game came out in like the 90s.
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying modern as far as like Witcher, but yeah, you got
Look at its art. You see that?
Yeah.
That is a Crane Clan duelist fighting a Scorpion Clan. I don't know what. Because the Scorpion Clan guys always wear masks. Always.
Oh, do they?
Yeah, they only ever remove the mask if they're in their own private room with like a wife or something. But
aren't they the ninja or the?
They can be shinobi because there are no ninja.
Yeah, shinobi.
So here is a Crane Clan character. Now, this book I just learned the other day. Paul said he looked it up and it's worth like $200 or something now.
Dang.
Because they stopped making it. But I wouldn't even play from this book. I would just use the first edition book, and I've got like 2 of them. So, but
I'm gonna
this
have to
is a
go.
great
I'll see you.
book. See you, homie.
All right, love you, brother. Have a good day, good weekend.
And then, of course, they give you your map of the empire with all of the different provinces, and like where is?
I remember you talking about it and showing it off some. I've seen it. I just never dove into it, but I do like the Japanese. I've always liked the Japanese history, lore, all that stuff. I really have always been a big fan of that.
Right. It is like over here we've got lion, crane, phoenix. I'm
I
looking.
mean, even in the real world here and now, I mean, they got a lot of honor. There's a lot of respectable things they do in their nation. They've done in their nation for millennia.
Yeah,
That
what the guy who
a
invented this,
lot of us humans in general across the globe could actually use in
right?
general in society. Be respectful of property, whether it's yours or not. All that kind of stuff. They really neat.
What the guy did in this game is he basically took the east coast of China, but made everything mostly Japanese. Like there's a big city here in the Scorpion Clans that's in the middle of a pass across the mountains, and the city is like called the City of Sin because like it's got all the prostitution and drugs and everything. But
The
the Scorpion
debauchery.
Clan used the prostitutes and the drugs and everything to spy on everyone.
Well, yeah, it's been done for millennia across any civilization. But yeah, no, that's neat.
Well, because remember I said how the Lion Clan is the right hand of the Emperor? The Crane Clan is the left hand of the Emperor, and Scorpion is the underhand of the Emperor. Because the Scorpion Clan will assassinate somebody if they find out that person's plotting against the Emperor, right? A Lion Clan would never do that. Because the Scorpion Clan believe, like every clan has an honor level and a glory level. Scorpion has no glory, but their loyalty is through the roof, right? Most of them. So they are 100% loyal to the Emperor, and as a result, they will do very, very dishonorable things to protect the Emperor or Empress.
Yeah, it's kind of like even though you're saying dishonorable, kind of like honor among thieves. No glory. They're not for the glory, but damn it, if you won't, how dare you betray?
Exactly. Their loyalty is to their clan and the Emperor, and there is no underhanded, sneaky bullshit they won't do, no matter how dishonorable it is, to do what they need to do.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're the spy masters and the assassins, and they do all the things that no one else wants to know about. And as a result, a lot of times they get looked down on by the other more honorable clans. They get treated like shit. When in fact they're making the true sacrifice, and they do weird shit too. Like there's a story where this Lion Clan guy was plotting to invade Scorpion lands, and the Scorpions knew that this tactician was really, really good, and the Lion Clan army is the largest, right, and best equipped. So the Scorpion were like, we're not going to be able to stop this guy. So they sent an envoy to talk to the guy, and basically the envoy guided the discussion until it became like a bet of who would do what, right? And the Scorpion guy was like, he basically led the Lion Clan guy to where the Scorpion Clan guy said, I bet I will do something you can't. And the Lion Clan guy says, anything you do, I swear on my honor, I'll do. And the Scorpion Clan guy, and they were there was a crowd, it's at the castle.
Witness.
And the Scorpion Clan says, okay, so that's the agreement. Whatever I do, you swear you will do. And the Lion Clan guy is like, yes. So the Scorpion Clan pulled out his wakizashi and cut his guts open.
Yeah. Bonsai himself did the yep, Harry Carey did the yep.
Leaving the Lion Clan guy no choice.
Yeah.
Had he not done it, he would have lost all of his honor, which is all the Lion Clan care about. And so he did it, which meant that the invasion of Scorpion Clan lands was not followed through with, since the general that was supposed to lead it killed himself.
Yeah, it was null and void.
Right. And that's the kind of shit Scorpion does. They're actually a very interesting clan, even though I always end up playing Lion. But yeah, the best clans in the game, especially because there can be player-on-player PvP, are probably the Kikita, Scorpion, and maybe Dragon Clan. They're the ones most likely to be able to just whack somebody right off the bat,
Yeah.
But if it turns into a battle, a group of people throwing down like a D&D battle, the Lion Clan guy is going to wipe everyone out. Because when it comes to just straight up fighting, the Lion Clan guys that's what they do. But that doesn't matter if you get poisoned or somebody challenges you to a duel.
Yeah. Challenges you. I bet you won't do what I do.
Exactly. So the greatest strength of the Lion Clan, their honor, is their greatest weakness as well.
Yes. No, that's I like that kind of stuff in games. Even if you put it into your own OSC or whatever, you get into that kind of situation. Always makes for a neat, actually a good, memorable scenario, good, encounter per se.
Well, you know how you always hear some people whining about role playing, and D&D is not a role playing game, which I absolutely disagree with, because I would argue that chess could be a role playing game depending on who you're playing against. And I know that classic Battletech, when me and my brother play, we are role playing. But if you want a game that's literally built from the ground up for immersion and role playing, L5R is the game. And I'm not saying it's better than D&D as far as for immersion and role playing. I'm just saying one can be used to do a thing. The other was designed to do it.
Yeah, the bent of it. Yeah, or the direction of it. Yeah.
But this idea, like, I watched Bear's video the other day, and he was talking about D&D, blah, blah, blah. And like Shauner used to always talk about it.
Yes.
And I used to be like, are we playing a different version of Dungeons and Dragons? Because like there are no rules in any edition of D&D except maybe 4th that would ever prevent you from role playing your character,
Never quite got that. I can see if you're coming from quote unquote an archaeological aspect of where it came from. It started from wargaming, this and that, and the intentional mindset and where it all it grew from, the whole game and everything. I can see if you're going on that and looking at that. However, after that point, yeah, you are correct. There's no one said, "Oh, well, how dare you,
Squirrel,
role play?"
I've seen role playing the hardest. We're playing 40K because they were getting into it. They were there. They were present. They were imagining themselves as the commander of their little army.
Yeah.
I mean, so this idea that you can or cannot role play with different things, I'm not. I mean, people can have their opinions, but I am just not going to buy into that because because
I'm with you
I
on that.
played classic Valtech with my brother, and we have done things in game. Sorry about that noise. We have done things in game that were absolutely based on in game things. So we, role playing and stuff.
Yeah, no, I agree. Like I said, I could see some people, looking at it again from a quote unquote archaeological. Oh, well, it came from wargaming. That came from Strategos. That was written in 1890 something, and and then it was miniatures wargaming, and then it came to this and to this. Well, okay, but that was then. This is now, and the reason why it's now is that's where it come from, and those folks wanted to do something a little different.
Well, the thing too that I would say about that is the idea that, well, it's not really a role playing game because it started as a war game, and I'm just like, okay, maybe you or somebody could answer this. So,
Well, I mean,
what does that have to do with anything? Are you saying because of the combat?
The hand cart started as something moving, things back and forth easier than putting on your back. Now we have semi trucks, and
that's what I'm saying. This idea, and as far as people who are like D&D combat's just roll die hit armor class, it doesn't have to be. But me personally, I kind of like that it is because I like the abstraction.
Well,
so that if the player wants to say they want to do a specific thing, I don't got to know a specific rule. I can just judge, hey, roll strength check. You want to push your opponent, away from you with a shield slam. All right. That's your attack. Roll a strength check. See if you do it. You don't need
those rules
defined.
Yeah, those rules that, as a lot of people said, even our buddy Max Legion of Myth,
Yeah.
with Palladium and whatnot. It's a framework. It gives you something that everyone can agree upon. Look, we're here to roll dice. We're having fun. We're telling a story, sharing a story, co-creating a story. We're playing a game, but X means Y. Everyone agree? Okay, and go.
Yeah.
It's a framework,
See, that was the thing. As much as I think Shauner actually did like me, what with, us always talking and arguing and him constantly blocking and unblocking me. That was one thing he and I never could see eye to eye on. And it was because I think the dude just had a bad experience with D&D when he was in high school. If I remember, he said something about that. I think he ended up gaming with a bunch of Munchkin power gamers, and he just didn't like it. So
yeah,
he moved on to Traveler, which is a lot more of a,
Well, and not only that, maybe obviously Traveler. It could have been any other rule set. Just a different group of people with a different mindset.
Right. But yeah, I will. I mean, one of these days I'm going to make a video talking about this. I mean, and it's like, if you think that abstract D&D combat is a fail, all right, play Rollmaster. See how you like that shit. Which I've ran Rollmaster for years. I like it just fine, but I don't know if a lot of people who complain about, D&D would care for it that much.
No. Play Hackmaster.
I'm a huge fan of Warhammer's combat style too, but
I mean, Hackmaster, I think I've said it before, this is one of the few molehills I'll die on top of. Hackmaster, in my opinion, that's where AD&D would be without WotC.
And
before WotC,
before
WotC interrupted, before all that stuff, and this is before the wokeness. This is before, this is second
Yeah,
edition, right after second edition.
Something because Wizards of the Coast was kicking their ass.
They Hackmaster, they codified, they streamlined segments, the weapon versus armor,
Yeah.
the a lot of that stuff, the count as far as initiative and your turn based, all that stuff. I'm telling you, it's tops. Now the downfall of that game, that system is you can't, you just can't do it online. You can, but it really super slows down the game.
Right. Whereas my response currently, and probably forever, is going to be that I think if Gary Gygax were alive and still making AD&D, he would have made Hyperborea because it is basically basic D&D with a lot of subclasses. But all of the stuff people don't like about other versions of D&D, it fixes. Like it doesn't use that silly segment system,
Well,
from
that's what
AD&D.
Hackmaster did. Hackmaster fixed it. Hackmaster fixed that.
Exactly. I'm agreeing with you. I mean, I'm just saying the game that I'm more familiar with, because I'm not familiar with Hackmaster very much. I have basic Hackmaster, but I'm not super familiar. So basically, I just cut this off of its base. My wife wants to use this.
What is?
So basically, that's why when I talk to Shadow sometimes, he and I go at it back and forth, is because I'm like, look, everything you're complaining about is fixed in Hackmaster. Mages get more spells. They get a ton of abilities. They can do all kinds of stuff. And I've started, I asked Home Skillet to start drawing Shadow in a Hyperborea shirt.
Yeah, we got to do that. Just for kicks. I agree.
Oh, I've already done it. It's already the picture for this stream. Shadow and me, animated looking, wearing Hyperborea shirts, sitting on.
Oh yeah, I see. Yeah, your thing. I didn't look at it closely, but yeah, okay, yeah, you got to do it. Yeah, that's awesome.
So, anyway, it's been 2 hours, and I'm gonna end this because I think every time I go more past that time, my computer freaks out and tries to kill itself. So,
Yeah, it's been 2 hours. I love you, brother. God bless you and have a good weekend.
Bless you too, and I'm going to, and I hope you do too.
Thanks. Later.